Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm super pumped. I just received 2 amplifiers from Outlaw Audio. You guys have recommended Outlaw Audio over the past 6 years, but this is the first time I've actually got one of their products in for review, so I'm super pumped about that. So here in front of us, we've got the 2220. These are monoblock amplifiers, and so we're gonna get 200 watts into one channel, 8 ohm, or we can get up to 300 watts for a single speaker into 4 ohms. And as you can see, we've got the Arendal 1723S speakers. These will be in here for review, so this is really what we're going to be powering these bad boys with. Now, although I have not reviewed any products from Outlaw Audio to date, one thing that I have always appreciated is they seem to offer a lot of value when it comes to amplifiers. You just seem to get a lot of bang for your buck and don't have to spend a fortune. All right, so inside the first box, we do have a secondary box. So let's go ahead and open up the second box here. So we got some paperwork on the top. Got our owner's manual right there. Back here is our 3-prong IEC power cable. Get that hooked up. Not much to an unboxing for an amplifier. But I like the fact this has got some pretty good weight to it. It's not extremely heavy, but it definitely has some weight to it. Got some nice thick foam to protect it during shipping. Ooh, I like that aluminum. All right, let's check this bad boy out. The front of this chassis just looks incredibly clean with this brushed aluminum faceplate. Looking at the top of the unit, you can see the large toroidal transformer right there, and we've got plenty of ventilation on the top. On the back of the unit, we have balanced XLR inputs as well as RCA unbalanced inputs. The toggle switch in the middle of those two connections tells the amplifier internally which connection you've made. Above that, we've got our 12-volt trigger input as well as output. Now, this is a great feature for an amplifier because it allows us to connect a 3.5 millimeter cable from your AVR or your processor into this amplifier, and that tells the amplifier when those units are turned on, so you don't have to manually turn the amp on and off each time you go to use it. Now, if you do choose to use the 12-volt triggers, you're going to need to pick up a mono-to-mono cable like this so that you can connect right here, and then the other side would connect to your AVR or your processor. And by having a trigger out, it allows us to simply daisy chain multiple amplifiers so that you don't have to have multiple trigger outputs from your AVR or processor. Down below that, we have our trigger mode, which we either tell the amp to always be on, to only come on when it senses music or a signal, or through a 12-volt trigger output. To the right of that are some high-quality speaker terminals. Now, we're going to be using banana plugs, so we're just going to simply remove this little plastic piece right here. It's just a plug. So we'll take both of those out, and that way we can insert banana plugs right in there. And then over to the far right, we have our main power switch, a fuse, as well as our AC input. The 2220 monoblocks are class ABG amplifiers. Basically, they have the same push-pull operation as a typical AB amplifier, but they've just got an additional power rail to allow it to be more efficient and to run a bit cooler. Now, because the 2220s are only 3 inches tall and they're monoblock amplifiers, they don't generate a ton of heat, and they are the only options that are available on their website that are stackable. Now, with all electronics, the more ventilation you can provide, the better. So if you can separate these and give them plenty of ventilation above, that would be advisable. I can already tell you, I love the build quality of these. These are super solid. I really like this metal finish here. We've got the brushed aluminum on the front. Definitely feels very well built. So I'm excited to get these fired up in this setup. So here we have the Arendal 1723S towers. So these are a little bit smaller than the original THX 1723, the full towers that I reviewed a while back. I'll link to that video down in the description. I want you to check out the spike kit here. This is a really cool presentation. Check this out. So of course we've got the little rubber feet. So if you've got like hardwood floors, that's good for that. Then inside here we've got little spikes. Man, and they're just nice, man. I love the detail here. We've got this real thin line of silver, and the rest is like black fully adjustable here. You can lock this down right here. And then we even have these little metal plates. So technically you could put the metal plates underneath the spike if you were laying it on a hard surface, but I would recommend doing this maybe on carpet. And then of course inside here, look at there, man. That's just beautiful. Absolutely love the craftsmanship on these speakers. As you can see, we've got lots and lots of padding here from Arendal. We've got the cardboard corners to protect the drivers and the cabinets during shipping, which that's always appreciated from manufacturers. Oh, look at this. I like even this white cover here. This is gonna be cool. This will be the first time I've seen their white satin, so I'm really excited to check these out. Easiest way to get these out of the box with most speakers, simply flip the box over, and then you can lift the box off the top, just like that. We'll untie this, open it up, slide it back just a little bit. Ooh, that's looking good, guys. Now we can stand up the speaker. We're going to spin it around for you guys. All right, you ready? And now for the reveal. Here we go. Oh, yes. So the 1723 Tower S speakers have a smaller footprint. And of course, we've got smaller drivers. We've got 6.5-inch drivers here. This is also a 2.5-way design crossover versus a 3-way crossover. And of course, we got our magnetic grills. On the rear of the towers, we can see the incredible craftsmanship that we had with the original 1723 towers. You've got the option for bi-wiring or bi-amping these speakers if you want to, but I'm just going to leave the jumpers intact. And at the bottom, you can see we've got 2 ports. Currently, we've got the foam inserts in there, and these are a really tight fit, so you don't have to worry about those coming out if you're playing loud music. But here we've got one here and one here. I'm gonna go ahead and remove them because I'll be running these as ported. To install the feet, all we have to do is place this padding down on the speaker like this. Make sure you add your lock washers and tighten them down. And then just screw in your feet. Once you have the feet installed, you wanna go ahead and take the spike and just remove the top from that and tighten that down just like that. So for this 2-channel setup, we'll be using the SVS Prime Wireless Pro sound base. That'll be our streamer to use with Qobuz as well as Spotify. We'll be powering the 2 Arendal 1723S speakers with the Outlaw Audio 2220 monoblock amplifiers. Since the sound base does not have XLR inputs, we're going to be using the RCA. So you'll see it says line out. When you're thinking about connecting, you basically want to follow the source. Sound comes from here. It's going to leave here, so it's going out of this and coming into this. So that's just the way I like to think about it. So we're going to connect a white RCA right here to line out. We're going to connect a red to RCA out. And since the white is the left channel, we're going to use the top one as our left. So we'll use the other side right here and go into the RCA right there. And then we'll use the right to go down here to our second amplifier, just like that. Now, since the Soundbase Pro does not have trigger outputs, we can't use this in order to turn these on. So what we're going to need to do is right here where the trigger mode is, I've just set it to music. And then down here, we've set it to music as well, as you can see right there. We want to make sure that our toggle switch over here is set to RCA, which it is on both of these amplifiers. Next, we'll connect our speaker wires. I'm using some Sewell 12 gauge. 14 gauge works just fine as well, but these are really nice thick gauge. So we're gonna make sure that we've got red to red and black to black. So that'll be for our left channel, and then we'll connect another pair for the right channel. And then lastly, we just need to connect our power cables. So we've got one for there, and then one for each amplifier. We'll go ahead and make sure the toggle switches for the power is set to on, and we're good to go. All right, so I have spent the past hour demoing and listening to this 2-channel setup. Again, we've got the Soundbase Pro. That was just acting as a preamp. That's going into these two amplifiers. And over the past hour, this got a little warm, but this literally stayed really cool to the touch. And so this is running super efficient because of that class AB/G. Now, of course, I'll be providing a full review on the Arendal 1723s in a future video, but I ran through just a gamut of different types of music, styles of music, of course, different volumes. And so I think a max, I probably hit about 106 dB with this system. So plenty loud enough. I don't really enjoy it that loud, but I wanted to see how they sounded. The amplifier sounded crystal clear. Resolution was just really phenomenal, especially those intricate details, things like guitar instruments, when the fingers are plucking the strings or the fingers on the piano. I just loved all the detail that this system produced. Of course, I would love to add a subwoofer into this, but again, I'll save that for a separate video and I'll tell you why. But just as far as what I'm seeing with Outlaw Audio, it's everything that you guys have said they are. Build quality is phenomenal. These are rock solid. I love the weight and the heftiness of it. The aluminum front is beautiful. And then we've got the steel, I think it's steel or at least metal chassis. Just really nice build quality. The binding posts on the back are really nice. And I love the fact that you can either do XLR or RCA inputs with these amplifiers. Now, I'll be using these two amplifiers for future 2-channel setups when I review speakers, so be on the lookout for those in the near future. And if you want to pick up a pair of the Outlaw 2220s, you actually save $100 if you buy 2 of them. And so that price, instead of being $400 per, it ends up being $350 per unit. So I'll leave a link down in the description below if you're interested in checking out what Outlaw Audio has to offer. Well guys, I hope this video has been helpful to you. More content coming your way, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys have an incredible week. God bless, and we will catch you in the next video.